Hey guys, Shift 838 here. I wanted to take a few minutes and show y'all what I've been working on. I've been working on the new version of OoeyGUI Mess, which is a front end to launch MAME, specifically for the Texas Instruments 99/2, the 99/4, the 99/8, and the Myarc Geneve variants. So it's nothing more than a front end, so you don't have to pound out the actual commands in a command line. So let's get into it. So it's still in beta mode. I released the latest one yesterday, February 8th, to my beta testers. It is completely coded in Python. That way it's cross-platform compatible. So for this demonstration we're going to run it on Windows, but I do have it running on Linux as well as OS X. So the first thing, once you install it, and it's real easy to install, you basically unzip it. It's a compiled Python executable, so everything is compiled. You just have to make sure that certain things are installed on your system, like Python 3. If you're going to use Michael's TI image tool, the MAME tools, things like that. It's fairly simple. Java, of course. So the first thing we're going to do is, I've already taken the liberty to do this, is I set up all my home directories. For my dist directory, my MAME directory, my MAME tools directory. Now one thing to realize, on Windows, your MAME tools directory is always the same thing as your main home directory. That's just where CHDman is, and that's mainly what I'm looking for to be able to work with the hard disk image utilities to be able to convert or create hard drive images. On Linux, and I believe Mac's the same way, the CHDman is in a different directory, so either you need to move it or just point it to that directory, whichever it may be. Now also, when running this, you may have to, for Linux and Mac, add the execute permissions with the chmod to be able to run it. So once we have everything set up, the OoeyGUI directory is automatically pulled at launch as your working directory. You save it the OoeyGUI configuration, so every time you load up, it will actually pull it in. So this is all your systems. So we got the Geneves, we got the 992s, the 994s, both. In fact, I need to. No, that's right. So I got the 4As. I got a 4A with the EVPC, so 4P, which is the SG CPU. Even got the QI and the 998s. So first thing we'll do is 9640. So right now, so we have quick load keys, F1 and F12, or F1 through F12. I've already saved an F1, so I'm going to press F1, and you see things just magically populate. So based on your settings will depend on what gets populated. You select the serial bridge or not. If you select the serial bridge to enable, then it actually detects which serial ports you actually have, both for Windows, for Linux, for OS X. It does it all. Now this does not actually create the serial bridge in itself. This just puts in the commands, just like everything else, to do what MAME does. So device images, we have sections for cartridges, for cassettes, floppy disk images, and hard disk images. It defaults to 5 1/4, all the way up to double-sided double density. You can select 3.5, 3.5, double-sided double density, high density, 5 1/4 quad density. It just depends on what controller you've actually done or configured. You can launch Michael's TI image tool from here. as long as you have the TI image tool installed and you have it configured. So as you can see, it's right there. This is the HD image utilities that you can actually create a new HD image. So say you want 40 megabyte, it will actually populate all your sectors per tracks, heads, cylinders. Only thing you need to do is put in a file name. You don't need to put an extension, just what you want to call it. It's going to put .hd on the end of it. Click create, it's going to get created. This section over here is to convert older hard drive images to the newer format, if you have one. And it's the same thing, you don't have to worry about putting in an extension for your target file name. It will add the HD, click convert, and it's done. Nothing big about the about page, just a little bit about the program. Now you got your load and save configurations up here. So if you want to change this configuration, then you can actually save it to a different file, and you can load it specifically by browsing to that file, or if you save it as fav1 through fav12, you can notice here it says fav1 that I loaded up. It will add an XML extension and save it in your favorites folder that you've configured, or it's part of the OoeyGUI directory. And then it will automatically load that up once you hit a F1 through F12 key. If you're going to save over something that already exists, it will give you an alert saying, are you sure you want to do this? So with 1.0, let's go ahead and launch. It launches it in a window. That's typically the way I want to see it. To take it out of the window, I believe it's Alt Enter if you want full screen. Takes a minute or so. Less than a minute, there it is. So hard drive's there, of course, because it booted up. In the background, you can actually see this is the command it actually issued for everything that was configured. So that's the Geneve. Now I do have it all running in separate processor threads, so you can actually go back into it if you want to. So you wanted to run a TI-994A. So let's just set it up for this. We'll set it up for BWG controller, speech. Now since the other device image is already taken, we'll go and load extended basic first. Since this has already been taken, the editor assembler, we will change that to something else because it's already open through the Geneve, so you would just get an error if you tried to load it, tried to mount it. I'm not going to worry about any hard drive images. Actually, it looks like something I need to change here to make sure these are disabled because they shouldn't be enabled. So that's a change coming. Launch. You can see this is loaded BWG. Catalog on disk. and show you everything that I did select is there. So 32K memory, speech, single GROM port, BWG disk controller, all the floppy drives, but of course there's only one floppy image because that's all I selected. And you can actually see that I got the TI running on the right and the Geneve running on the left. So that's pretty much about it. I'm planning on hopefully releasing this within the next week or so. And then I'm sure some other people may find some other things that need to be corrected or something like that, but it's pretty functional right now. Thanks for watching, guys.